Prosecco and champagne are different.
I'm not good at Spanish, so.
It's nice.
It's not Spanish.
Anyway, let's propose a toast to everybody showing up to our first live show. It's been a long process and we're finally here, so cheers.
Cheers.
This feels good, I'm not gonna lie to you.
It really
First
does.
live audience, first show.
Yeah, I like the lights. I know I look good.
Yeah.
Period.
I try to put a lot of lotion on so my skin can kind of jump a little bit.
Okay, you know that melanin come through. Always,
Got
always.
to. Man, I just want to sit here and thank everybody, each and every one for coming for our first live show. I know it's something that we've been working on for quite a while.
Yeah, and life been lifing
Oh,
during that process. So it's definitely, it feels good to be here.
Absolutely, it does feel good. And man, when I tell you I had some of the most stressful morning this morning, man, it was a lot of stuff going on.
You know, mine was actually pretty peaceful.
Really.
It was very peaceful.
It must be nice.
I was a part of my routine. I went on my walk. I was vibing.
You know what I did? I slept until 12.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
No.
I kind of saw
That's a long break.
I kind of started a new job, and it has me in the office from 9 to 8.
Mhm.
So I barely got any time to rest. And since I have my day off, I'll do this.
Wait though, how you telling them about your job when you didn't even introduce yourself? We don't know you. They don't even know you.
They really don't. Really, nobody really like that's crazy.
But I'm telling you that I didn't even introduce myself.
Okay, sounds good. So before I start, my name is Wilson Cheney. I am born in Austin, Texas. Now I reside in Houston, and I'm a graduate of the Texas Southern University. So shout out to all my TSU folks in the stands.
Keep calm. My name is Paige Lawrence, and I am the host of the Front Pages podcast, and I am a UH Cougar alum.
Go Cougars! Crazy, a lot of UH people. Well, it's kind of heated out, so.
But it was giving Big 12 energy right there. That was Big 12 energy.
What do you know about the swag?
I mean, I know enough. We see y'all. Like, I like y'all. No, okay. I like
Y'all
it.
take one to be sneaking on to our homecomings after like that.
Oh, not too much, because it's both. It goes both ways. It goes
All right.
both ways.
All right.
Okay, so y'all don't be coming to U of H stuff? Y'all come to U of H games? Right. You know the vibe. One thing that ever since I've been in Houston, there's been so much division, like as far as TSU and U of H. Y'all know how powerful we could be if we all came together as one, like as blacks. Like there's a lot of black people that go to U of H. You know, there's of course, TSU is a HBCU, so like why can't we come together? Why we gotta treat each other differently? Like I was not recruited by HBCU. So I went to U of H because that's who recruited me, but I feel like a lot of times when it comes to the HBCU versus a PWI athlete, that's a huge debate.
Yeah, it's a debate, but over time, like I felt strongly about it when I first came to TSU. But over time, it's like, why don't we just work together? Like it doesn't have to be any beef on both sides.
Yeah.
Once we get out in the real world, we're still fending for ourselves. Like we're still gonna be those two black folks and that big office full of white folks. So it's like, why should we
Right.
be?
I mean, look at us. We're sitting on the same couch today. So I mean, I'm here for that.
Absolutely. So who all went to the Texas game today?
The Texas game. Anybody went to the Texas game? Okay, we got Wayne. That's a Dolphins fan though. So he didn't go for the Texans. He went for the Dolphins. He didn't go
on the right side.
I mean, 28-3, like.
It's only preseason.
Yeah, I think I said that every year. So it's only preseason. There's always a lot of people preseason. But you know, I'm a Giants fan, so I'm actually pleased with my preseason.
Why?
My preseason. Danny Jones.
DJ.
Have you forgotten?
Okay, so
Oh, we'll get there, right?
I was about to ask you, y'all want to call him DJ?
Yeah, I call him DJ. His initials, damn no.
DJ is a black
DJ.
man. He's a black man.
That's all right. He may have a little part. He can. That's all right. No, I feel like I don't know a white person named DJ.
I've never ever met a white person named DJ, ever.
So I mean, he could be the first.
If he's the first, then I feel bad for my race.
My brother initials is DJ, so bought his jersey. We're Giants fans, so.
I can't speak on that. I'm sorry, but I'm an Eagles fan, obviously, so she's kind of my op right now, so to speak. But at least she's not a Cowboys fan.
Oh, that's a crime.
Wow.
Actually.
It's funny because when I went home, we celebrated my grandpa's birthday, and he brought all his family from Beaumont. And when I tell you I was the only Eagles fans amongst 20, 30 Cowboy fans, I love it.
I feel like everybody just kind of hate on the Cowboys. I'm not a Cowboys fan by any means. Like, do not get me wrong. Like, my dad would probably even just turn off this episode just because I said that. But I feel like the Cowboys, it's really because of their fans. It's not because of the Cowboys, it's because of the fans. The fans are very delusional. Very delusional.
Yeah, that's really is. But I feel like they got less delusional over here because they're starting to see like what their team really is. Like, they're not going to be Super Bowl contenders every single year.
Have they? When's the last time they were?
When I was a thought.
Yeah.
When
I think a lot of Cowboys fans haven't even seen the Super Bowl, so it's kind of hard to debate with them.
No, it's pretty funny because I was debating with my cousin named Dwayne, and he's 34, so he's seen the Cowboys last
Dang, why you have to say his age? Oh, well, I guess, okay.
He's watching, so it's kind of like I got to give him a shout out.
Yeah.
We were going back and forth, and I was like, you guys have won since '95. Like, your championship drop outlived me. He's like, I don't care, we got 5 rings, it's all about the dynasty. We'll do it. I'm like, y'all suck since 2000.
Your dynasty is collecting dust.
Exactly.
It's collecting dust real bad.
Like the last time I actually won an NFC championship game, the Lions won a playoff game. You know how long it was? Like, come on, man. But everybody's on the wake up, though.
Yeah.
So, one special thing I kind of want to do is go over the schedule because she's been talking mess about the Giants and they're going to beat us and everything and finish better. So, I'm trying to show that y'all got a tough time.
I never said it would be easy. And I did not say that the Giants are winning the Super Bowl. Didn't say that.
I know that.
No.
You were trying to say
But what I will say is that we look good. DJ look good. He not tripping over his feet. And that's all I can be grateful for. It's about the small wins in life. And like, we need to focus on that. It's baby steps. Like, we're not like the Cowboys fans. We don't jump to the Super Bowl. You know, we step by step, take our time.
That's really encouraging. Like, if I was a Giants fan, I would believe you right now. But since I'm there,
But you, okay. All right. Because I see we ain't going. We never gonna see eye to eye on this, but it's cool.
When it comes to the Giants, not because screw y'all. Anyways, all right, let's start with game 1. Oh, speaking of Cowboys, y'all start with them game 1.
Yeah, that's great. Let's bring the heat. Y'all gonna watch that game. Just because you just heard that the Cowboys and Giants are gonna play, you're gonna watch the game. You're enticed to watch that game. Are you not? Are you not? You're gonna watch it to see what happens, so you can talk about it.
So
Are you not?
So I could talk trash to both of y'all, maybe, but that's about it. I don't know. So
It's in Dallas.
It's in New York. So y'all think that's a win or a loss?
Winner or loss, Cowboys and Giants.
Cowboys and Giants.
If y'all say Cowboys,
Giants going to win.
Giants, I don't want to hear the ifs. I all care with Giants.
Giants by 3.
Giants by 3. Yeah.
Yeah, they're gonna
The split.
Oh, it's not. They always
Tomato.
They always
Who else? No. He said Giants. Ain't nobody said Cowboys. Let's move on to the next game.
We'll say Giants game.
We made a decision.
Y'all played the Cardinals' second game in Arizona.
Okay, who is Arizona at home?
Oh man,
Giants next.
Okay, Giants. Y'all played the 49ers at their crib.
9 and 12.
All right. Look, like I said, baby steps. I said game by game. I can say, we get deep.
Yeah, probably pretty fast. So that's why I'm like, man, I don't know.
You know what? I may become on my parlay though. I'm not gonna
No, we'll talk about that later. But next game is Seahawks and y'all crib.
Seahawks.
Did we ask you yet? We didn't ask you yet. This is about me.
I was even saying, so I mean, that could probably be a L. Y'all lose a Seahawks.
Like, you really not even trying to root for the Giants. What happened?
I've been a hater since I came out the womb.
That's tough. That must be heavy to carry. Come on,
So this next one, I think you and the Dolphin jersey in the back will like this. They play the Dolphins at their house.
That's gonna be a great game. That's gonna be a great game. You know what? I like the Dolphins. Like I'm not gonna cap. Like I like how things are going for them right now.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be a very competitive game. I'm not gonna say who's gonna win on that game.
I'm gonna say the Dolphins because I kind of mess
Of
with
course. I mean, you're not gonna say the Giants on none of these. So.
I said Giants.
Okay. Are you gonna say Giants on the next one?
Maybe. Okay, so the next game they play the Buffalo Bills at their crib.
All right. I'm not the loser. I'm not the loser. That's why I asked you. Who you gonna pick?
We off to a 2-1.
The thing about the NFL, like, especially when you're betting and stuff, there's always that one game that you think should sway one way.
Yeah, it's one way, yeah.
So, I don't know. Maybe the Bills might slip up and lose. I mean,
Dang, I like
It
the
is
Bills too. I hate to do that to them, but we gotta do what we gotta do. Everybody got the way.
I'm gonna say the Giants just for the sake of argument.
Oh,
Just for the sake of
we
argument.
we are getting somewhere. Look, y'all, let's go through the rest.
Don't be too comfortable. Anyway, so next game y'all play the Commanders at y'all crib.
Yeah, we can do that. We can do that. I don't the deep breath. We don't need that one. Yeah, let's do that.
But as far as the NFC East games always catch us by surprise. Like it's always that one random game that you think is gonna be a blowout. It turns competitive, and
That's gonna happen. I feel like that's gonna happen across the board though, like with the NFL. Right now, I like that though. I like that it can be competitive across the board. It's not like I can watch this game and know that, oh, they gonna dub you. Versus like some games, I'm like, I don't know, like this could really go either way. So I'm enjoying that factor of the NFL. I feel like it's been very more competitive now
right.
compared to years in the past.
Yeah, we always like competitive games. That's what keeps us glued to the TV. So I agree with that. The next one, y'all play the Jets.
We're gonna be good.
Whoops.
Hey.
We're gonna be good. You know what? I'm gonna stand aside on that one. I'm gonna say the Giants. I've been watching it because I watched it because you said it. I wasn't watching it until you said it, but I'm gonna pull for the Giants on that one. And that's gonna be a dub. That's gonna be a great dub for us.
I don't know. When I watched one episode when Robert Saleh was cussing out the O-line, that's a team that's gonna be prepared.
But you gotta also think about it. Is everybody gonna be here? What's the date on that game? Like, is everybody gonna
October
be everybody in?
29th. It's gonna be close to October. So it's like,
A lot of stuff are happening around that time. Just saying. So
maybe. I mean,
we're gonna come back. I'm gonna clip that. Make sure we clip that part because I'm gonna make sure I'm coming back to that game. And everybody who said yes, I will be at your door.
That's a bit. All right, the next game y'all play the Raiders at their crib. Y'all gonna win.
You said what?
The Raiders.
No, what did you say after that?
Y'all are going to win.
I'm loving the sound of this.
So if they lose, we're gonna go back to this. I'm gonna roast you for it. So okay.
Look, please, guys, please.
Because the Raiders are a team. I expect them to get Caleb Williams next year. Like I don't even think they're gonna win like at least over 3 games. So that's really a cakewalk game for y'all, honestly.
Okay.
So after that,
Go
I
back.
should not go to this game. Y'all play the Cowboys again
Yeah,
at their crib.
that's cool. That's like around Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving.
November 12th. That's like a week
weird.
prior and stuff. So.
That's gonna be crazy.
Well, somebody the crowd say y'all gonna split, so I kind of believe it. So it might just flip flop.
I can't believe y'all. I got up here and gave y'all my whole spiel.
We got a real audience though. That's
I know, we really do. That's like kind of loud. It's a real obvious. And you keep saying that, I'm like,
I know I'm looking at this. So after that, y'all play the Commanders again on the 19th.
Yeah.
I say a loss because it's always.
so hold on, we about to go through this whole list of you telling me about my team.
These always
This is like, you never know in that division though. Like it's never like a set hierarchy on there. It's like everybody splits.
That's fine. I'm rooting for my team. Let's go to your team schedule. Let's look at your team schedule. Let's talk about your team.
Off of that, it good if I look at my team schedule. You want that?
Yes. Let's take it there. Let's light this candle.
Eagles schedule G23. Yeah, you're gonna look at a real NFL team now. So.
And think about it. I like the Eagles. Like, it's hard to root against the Eagles. You know, like they have a very young team, and I'm a Devontae Smith fan, so
I can't be mad at that. I can't be mad.
I have respect. If my roots were not into the Giants, I would root for the Eagles.
Okay. I thought it was Mike hurt.
Not bad.
All right, so the first game we played against the Patriots, though.
Why you didn't ask me? You
So
asked.
you think we're gonna win that game against the Patriots?
Sure.
Sure.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so we agree. All right. So game one, that's a dub.
What's up with the Patriots though? Like,
I really don't.
I mean, they got Ezekiel Elliott.
Yeah, but the thing is, I was confused on that because they already have
Very.
Stevenson and Damian Harris, so I'm just thinking, where's he gonna get the touch?
You know, when it's that much money involved, though, because it's a 1 year, right? Yeah, when it's that much money involved, it's like either somebody doing something on the back end for something else, or that was just dumb. But I don't know.
It depends. I mean, I kind of hope he revives his career because I feel like Dallas kind of let him go early.
I'm surprised they let him go. What Jerry Jones doing?
Being old.
Yeah, we need to go ahead and wrap it up.
Exactly.
All right, wrap it up.
That's why the main reason the Cowboys lose, and that's a whole different discussion.
We don't even really.
You guys are doing push up
Yeah.
the Cowboys.
Yeah. We here.
All right, game two, we have a rematch against the Vikings.
Well,
Ooh.
It's gonna be at all three.
That's a
Y'all said it's a dub for the Eagles?
Yes.
That's a fair. We're playing the Vikings. Patrick King left, so I don't know if any DBs on the Vikings. Darius Slay.
Trash.
We got.
So he's pulling. You really pulling for the Vikings then, huh?
No, Jets? Oh, no, he's not Jets.
Oh.
Kirk Cousins not
He's pulling for the Vikings.
Jets is unstoppable, but it's all about the QB that's going into it. And I don't know if you've seen that clip of him cussing out Kirk on the end zone. So
Ooh.
Kirk about to choke.
The drama.
Exactly. So, all right, third game we play against Tampa Bay. And no need to talk about it.
Ain't no reviving that.
We're playing the Commanders at our crib. But we always split with them too, so I'm not even gonna count them out. We play the Rams at their house.
That's your first game.
So we
Somebody said that y'all that first
Of
game.
course, yeah.
Eagles versus Rams.
Cooper Cup is healthy by then. Look out.
That'll be your first
That's all I'm saying.
But is Matt Stafford gonna be healthy though? But he got like a little neck.
Yeah, and then he getting older too, so it's like I know he gonna that the one wrong hit.
I'm saying, we might play against Stetson Bennett, so I ain't worried about that. So after that, we play the Jets at their house.
It's up and down.
It's all Aaron Rodgers.
People looking for the Jets.
It's all Aaron Rodgers how you play.
Yeah, facts. I'm curious. You know what?
Aaron Rodgers play like his old self.
Yeah, I'm very curious of what Aaron Rodgers we're gonna get. Like, is it gonna be a washed up, just very skilled professional player, or are we gonna get like some new pizzazz? Like, what are we getting from him?
I feel like
as far as quarterback goes?
I feel like A-Rod's drop off is kind of overrated because he's never been like a reckless thrower. Like, he's always had a great mechanics on the football, so it's never really something you have to worry about. But if his shoulders start going out of whack, then yeah, maybe sometimes worry. But I like the team around. They just got Dalvin Cook too, so
Yeah, that was a great pickup for them.
so if the passing game is off, just hand it off to your backs and just let them do the work. So that might, if I have to say a loss, that might be the first one, but I'm not too sure.
Ooh,
You know, I'm gonna be here.
you did. Let's go with it. You did.
So the next game,
Dolphins
oh, I'm so sorry.
versus the
It's a
Eagles.
whack shit. I'm so sorry.
Dub for the Dolphins.
I'm so sorry.
Who's at home? Who's at home?
It's gonna be at our group.
Yeah, y'all.
Yeah, that's what's up. Sorry.
It's hard to win at y'all stadium. Yeah, y'all stadium is very competitive. It's very loud. I went to a game last season and it was like loud. I was very impressed about the fan engagement and just how much of an effect of the game it really had.
Oh, we're crazy.
Yeah, no, I realized I was like, oh, y'all actually kind of throw down here.
Like, we're the same fan club that try to throw batteries at Santa Claus. Like, we don't play.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not Santa.
Hey, shouldn't be talking too much.
It's not Santa.
Should be talking shit.
Santa ain't getting none of y'all.
All he does is exist. Next game we play against the Commanders at their crib. I'm gonna say a loss.
A loss.
But that's the same team that broke our winning streak last year. I mean, you just never know.
Dang, so you gonna give them power from last season? It's a new season.
It's called living in reality. I beat the Lulu.
It is a living reality, but nah, maybe they got a chip on their shoulder. Like maybe they gonna really be honed in on their game.
Maybe.
Stop be rooting for your team. You ain't even rooting for them.
I gave the dub against the Bills.
We not on my team no more. We on your team.
See, I
See,
told
you bringing up old
I
stuff.
told you. I'm trying
That's
to do it.
yeah. See, y'all see how many do?
That's crazy. So the next game we play against the Cowboys at our crib. Oh, we waxed the hell out of them.
Y'all split.
So y'all waxing them, but we can't wax.
I mean,
Interesting.
Beggars can't be choosers. I'm sorry.
No, y'all better beat them. Maybe. And I really hate when the Cowboys beat y'all or like just even be hella competitive with y'all because that is so annoying. Their fans are not gonna let that go.
They are. The Dak's gonna be backups and Carson Wentz, and they have the right to talk this. I'm like, y'all even face off against her shit. Y'all ain't even got the right to talk shit. So it's like, come on. So the next game, we got the Chiefs and Arrowhead.
Chiefs.
No.
Hell.
No. See, y'all on my side for a little bit. You said
You said in Arrowhead?
Arrowhead.
Are you serious? Are you with them? The Lulu. The delusional. The fans don't even know. The audience doesn't even know.
It's 50-50.
They're not on your side. That's not your team.
Can't count 15 out.
Hey,
I'm pulling with the Chiefs. Easily.
Look, I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. I still haven't watched the Super Bowl highlights yet, but I'm so traumatized. And
It made different.
You have
we're
one
up
last one.
24-14 at halftime, and then Patrick Mahomes just started getting in his bag going crazy. And our DC was, you're gonna make me have a little trauma moment, so let me not get into it.
But yeah, because you got a whole episode to get through. And I don't want that weight on you throughout the episode, you know.
But we're gonna
Take care of yourself.
We're gonna win that game, man. I'm gonna put money on it. So everybody
No,
else
I-
in Dallas, hit me up after the show. But I will
Oh,
take
I
all
will.
the bets.
I gladly
Yeah.
will. I gladly
You
will.
would?
I gladly
35?
will.
I'll put on 35 right now.
He put $35 on it.
I disagree to 5. I'm tripping right now. Whoever wants to bet, hit me up.
I know.
All right. Next game, we're playing against the Bills at our crib.
Ooh,
I don't want to hear no none of that. Y'all say it with your chest.
Eagles.
Strongly, y'all want Eagles? I'm going with the Bills. I'm going with the Bills.
I had y'all winning against
I'm going with the Bills. Easily, Bills.
I thought I had a real supporter on my side. That is nuts.
Bills.
That is super nuts. Fine. All right, next game we're playing against the 49ers in our crib. That's a dub.
Negative.
Dang, you're so confident. I love
So if y'all think that's a dub, that means y'all are picking Brock Purdy. That's what y'all telling me.
it. So you mad? You put the phone down. You put the whole
This 49ers is so overblown, bro. Like they've been talking so much crap in the offseason. Like y'all gonna lose anyway with Jimmy G or not. Well, y'all gotta keep in mind our defensive ends, bro. We can put the pressure on Jimmy G and make him start making stupid decisions. So y'all saw that in the Super Bowl against the Rams. Once he get that pressure,
Ooh.
he was done. We got the same type of defense, if not better.
Give me this presentation on why y'all should pick the Eagles.
I'm trying to tell you.
And I don't think y'all win. By the looks of y'all face, y'all are not winning. It's alright. It's alright. It's okay.
Their defense should be
It's
held.
alright. You know, you gotta just
It should
progress.
It should be, but it depends. But screw the 49ers. So next game we're playing against the Cowboys at their crib. I was gonna say
I feel like that's gonna be the game. Cowboys is like the Cowboys be having like 3 good games where you be like, hold on. Oh, you think they're gonna be? So he's saying he think the Cowboys gonna be last in the division.
They can fight to their players. They can agree.
Y'all think?
Yeah.
I mean, I ain't about to defend them or nothing. So if that's what you think, I guess we can all go with it.
I want to be realistic, but nah, my delusion's taking over. I'm gonna say Eagles. I'm gonna say Eagles on that one. So next game we're playing against the Seahawks at their crib.
Damn.
Dang, somebody said L.
Hey, they serious.
That guy could go 50-50.
Yeah, they told them.
You know, somebody like way better. Like he might be like.
Defense.
But all it takes is a Geno Smith injury to change it. Nah, I'm not wishing that. I'm not
Oh,
wishing that.
yeah. Hey, come on, man. I'm wishing I'm gonna keep knocking the hole until you get through the rest of the schedule. Like that. Keep saying
I
that.
don't know. I mean, just,
Dang.
like the NFL is so fickle, like you really just don't know. So
Do You know, don't
At least you knocking on the wood. I'm not. Anyways.
Man, I'm doing it for you. Because that's unacceptable.
All right. So the next game.
I can't see. Huh?
See, look. See, you talk about me being blind.
I can't see.
Is that
But
enough?
you the one with the glasses on still can't see.
Yeah, you put glasses on for fun.
No, I don't. I protect my eyes. It's called prevention.
Attention.
Yes.
I thought it was another way around.
No, prevent so I don't have to wear glasses every day.
Touche.
And I eat my carrots. Thank you.
Okay, cool. We play with y'all this.
No, thanks. We talking about this.
So guys at
You
home-
should have just skipped the game. See, you bringing up the drama. It's really you.
I'm not bringing up
It's
no
really
drama.
you. You could have really skipped that game. We already discussed it. Because I told you what I said. And I said, I meant what I said.
But I said that you live in La La Land. We're gonna whoop you.
Well,
That's what I'm
guess
saying.
we just have to see. What's the date of that? I'll put it in my calendar right now.
It's in close on
Oh, it's Christmas.
Oh, yeah.
Where that's at? That's in Dallas?
It's
I made it
close.
here. Oh, that's still do that.
Yeah, we're gonna watch this. I'm gonna have a great Christmas this year. God,
Boy, Santa is not coming to your house.
The next game we're playing against the Cardinals. Duh. I don't know what they're gonna do this year.
Duh.
Then after that, we're gonna still all starters. So y'all got that. Y'all gonna play this on backwards, so I ain't tripping on that, man. It's the truth. It's week 18.
Why do I feel attacked? Like, damn. You said I'm set my starters. You don't know what's gonna happen. Your starters might not even be able to be set down because they're already sitting down.
Well, by then we'll probably get the first seed locked up, so that game's gonna be useless to one. So y'all gonna be practice. I don't know.
No, I'm really working on my patience.
I mean, you might have to work a little harder because it might be, by then you might be kind of pissed off at your team. So
Okay.
I don't know.
I'm gonna choose peace today.
Okay, keep choosing it. And by then I'll probably be in my fantasy league championship.
You know, I feel some type of way because
How do you cheat? You were not cheated. I got a funny story to tell about that. So, well, it's not funny, but it's kind of dark, but y'all see what I mean. So we had a big UFM SOS fantasy league where we collaborated with my friend Tony, and he has his own media network, and I got my own. So we had a big 14-man fantasy league, and it was a final week. He had Joe Burrow as his quarterback, and guess what game he needed to win? The night they played the Bills. Yeah, and that's the night that Martin Hamlin went into cardiac arrest. So that game went unfinished. So this nigga, he thinks that Joe Burrow's gonna score 50 points for him to win the championship.
okay, that's
That's
clear reach.
that is the definition of the
50 points in one game.
and he's not even a Russian quarterback.
He already had 30 points.
Nope. No, he didn't. No, he didn't, bro.
Continue.
I'm just saying how funny it was that they thought he had a chance. Because it was,
I mean, I feel like that game really messed up a lot of people's fantasy. But it's kind of one of those situations where, ooh,
oh wow.
turn on the lights. And I can
I don't know about that.
What y'all know?
I lost, man. So I'm just listening.
You got lost. My music, I sound good, like American Idol type. That's what makes you get lost in it.
Maybe in like the back of a garage, like
Not a garage. You could have at least said like,
people start at. I mean, I don't know.
but I was giving more stage.
You'll get there one day. Just probably not a little voice training, but it is.
Okay.
But also, I definitely want to get to like one show I really watched lately was the Johnny Manziel. They brought back some so many movies.
That doc, I really, honestly, to be honest, I think that doc could have went longer. Like, they left out so many different pieces. Like, what about the part where he was married and domestic violence stuff? Like, they didn't want to talk about that, but I think it's also because he had a hand in it. So,
Yeah, in a way. It
kind of blurs
was-
the lines.
It mostly just gave a glimpse of his lifestyle, and we all knew, like growing up, like watching him. There was always memes of him online wearing a wig in a club and stuff.
Yeah, trying to be this guy. It was actually very informative though, just to like see what was really going on during that time, and I think they had the right perspectives to be interviewed.
Hey,
That's what they
this is
gave
why I
us.
love our audience, right? Look at the lights. Our lights went out, they just showing up. I really appreciate it, man. We feel special,
I'm
right?
trying to figure out not to like hating on us.
Hey, if they would hate on us, the show would stop, right?
We still going though. That's all that matters. You know, we are the light. You know, I really liked that they touched on, athletes not really being paid during that time, and he was bringing in so much money to Texas A&M. And now to see athletes being paid, it's kind of like I'm low-key hating at the same time because I was a collegiate athlete, so I wish it was us. But at the same time, I'm happy because it's kind of like we paved the way for that to happen, and it's good to finally see these kids making what they were, and really still not even touching what they really should be touching. But he was bringing it.
I always thought about this. If the NIL was around with Reggie Bush and Johnny Manziel,
Oh.
how much money y'all think they would make during that time?
NFL contract.
Easily. Back then, bro, people was doing the most. That's when people was shirts on the side of the road with your face. You could not do anything like, for instance, like I have club promoter friends in college. Say if we wanted to, you know how it's your birthday, you want to do a birthday celebration, you want to be on a flyer. You can't even do that. I ain't even paying nobody to do it. There's no money transaction. You could not do anything with your face, your image, nothing. You could not do. There was things where you had to make sure, like to even be on somebody's podcast, I had to go to compliance and ask, like, hey, is this okay? Like, I had to show them, oh, here's the podcast. This is a blanket of how the podcast is. They were so strict. And it was kind of like, y'all are being strict on me.
Yeah.
Me showing me.
That's actually pretty sad, though.
It is
What's
sad.
going to happen on podcasts? They're just going to talk about your career. Like, what got you where you are? There's no money.
But people are making money on their podcast now. I ain't gonna lie. If I'm on somebody's podcast and they making money, I'm on some too. Easily, but
Who knows? I mean, it just really just puts into perspective of how hard these athletes work, but they got so little. Like, one of my friends at St. Houston State, he couldn't even get a burger from his friend. Because the NCAA was going to get on him. Like, it's just little stuff like that.
burger.
Yeah.
I
Small.
must have been breaking all types of rules because.
I'm saying, they don't even do nothing the same use. That's the problem. It's like,
Yeah. Yeah, it definitely depends on the institution you go to. That definitely plays a part. When you got a big school like A&M, then you talk about, he didn't even watch no film.
Nope.
No film is all, is no film, 0% is crazy.
Yeah. Like, the camera. Zero.
But he said it though. He said that he had so much money coming in, it was just kind of like,
He just didn't care.
he didn't care. So low key, NIL, it could be a pro and a con. Like it has, like yeah, I want y'all to get paid, but when you got so much money, you being negligent. Like you're not showing up, you being late, you hung over to practice. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I showed up hung over a couple of times, but it's like I'm still showing up, you know. But I wasn't making that. I wasn't making what he was bringing in. So it's.
I mean, shoot, you showing up hungover, putting up 4 touchdowns and 300 yards.
And it's always those athletes, man, that they go out, they do whatever they want, and they show the practice and go and do some wild, some OD stuff in practice. You're like, oh.
And I'm not gonna lie about the documentary. I hate it. Now, I don't want to be disrespectful for people that actually suffer from that, but I hate how they went to the mental health thing. Because at the same time, Manziel came from a good family, got paid a lot of money, was super talented in football, and you get more money on the side. How do you blame mental health for your own mess ups? All you have to do is come to training camp, show up on time, watch film. You got a successful career.
Hold up. Because I'm a big mental health advocate, right? So, in this case, in the documentary, he did explain that the reason why he felt the way he felt, you know, he won the Heisman. And that pressure of, dang, okay, I won a top-notch award. What do I do next? Or I can't let my team down. Or we take a L and people blaming me for the L. People showing up to their places, you know, like that could really get to somebody. So for me, I appreciated that they spoke on the mental health because I think that's something in athletics that is very kind of not spoken about. Like when you lose the whole, and it's a big game, the whole university, some people even created fake pages, kill yourself or do this and that, like you suck or like, you know, like how many people am I supposed to just sit back and say, oh, it's just a troll? No, I'm clapping back. I'm clapping back like KD on Twitter. Like I'm not.
That's a little too crazy. Now, he
I mean, but it brings you to that point. Like, even as a natural human, if somebody was continuously trolling you like that, or like blaming you, and you just one person, you the QB. Although, like, you know, the QB controls most of the flow of the game, but at the same time, it's so many other people, other factors that was involved. But yet, you blame me, and holding that pressure as he was young.
Yeah.
He was a young player, like coming from, even though he came from a disciplined high school and coming to a collegiate realm, it's just different. Like, I feel like a lot of times people do say that, like, man, all you had to do was come to class on time, which is true. All you did have to do was show up, eat healthy, eat right, go to sleep, focus. But that's not what he was doing. He's never been that person. He said it.
Yeah,
But he was forced to be there because he wanted.
But that's my thing. And to your point about the trolls, all you gotta do is this. Shut your laptop off and ignore the
No, I'm not
It's
doing
easier
that.
said than done, but like, it was just.
I'm not doing
laptop
that.
didn't work.
I'm on my Lucy 123 account. You got me effed up.
Lucy wants to
Me be outside.
Great. But
It's not my name, of course. You can't know it's me.
But no, I definitely get you. Oh my bad. I definitely get your angle with mental health. It's just all it comes down to on that portion is responsibility.
Yeah, accountability.
Like, I'm not saying it's bad for you to go to parties. I mean, I go to parties every blue moon. But at the same time, if you know you got practice in the morning, rest up at 11, call your homies or call your shorty, be like, hey, man, like, I gotta rest up to practice. Boom, get up early, boom. Go to practice.
Unrealistic. Bro, hump day didn't start till 10.
I get it.
I'm not at my dorm at 11. No. Like, be for real. Like, I still, even though I'm an athlete, I still want to have that collegiate experience. Like, I'm at practice from 5 a.m. to 6. So if I want to go and get a Four Loko or Pablo Sun, whatever we was drinking,
I'm at Four Loko since high school.
whatever we drinking at that time, like, I still want to be able to experience that. And I feel like, well, I mean, in his case, because I knew I wasn't going to go to professional realm. So I already knew, like, I'm going to get this experience, but I'm also going to get this experience of college. Because a lot of times, a lot of athletes that, even my teammates, they wish they would have done more in college, like, as far as experience more. Because it's kind of like we're sacrificing there and we're not even making it to the professional realm. And it's like, dang, I should have just been doing what I wanted to do and still been in the same position I am now. I would have enjoyed my experience more. I mean, luckily, I was one of those people where I'm gonna have fun.
Yeah.
Like, fun is a part. It's my nature. So I just think that a balance. You gotta be disciplined. You gotta be focused. Like, of course, I was going to train room and stuff like that, but it's easier. Like you saying, that's easier said than done. That's easier said than done too.
Fair enough. So, do you think that's a big thing that people get misunderstood about college athletes? That
Yes.
they're kind of robots, thinking, oh, you're just gonna practice, go home, not having any fun, type of deal.
Yeah, I think that stigma, it really is a lot of people train of thought when it comes to collegiate athletics. And I mean, I get it, because you are going to have the athletes who don't do nothing, they're lazy, and they blame their schedule on this. Like, I understand both sides, but at the same time, I think there's too much weight on you should have just did this versus, like, put yourself in my shoes. What you would have done? You wouldn't have been in the house at 11 o'clock every day. You just wouldn't. That's unrealistic. We was kids. We was coming to college 18, 19 years old. Some of us, it's our first time away from our parents. Of course I'm going to turn up.
So, you would have pulled up to a whole party with a long wig on, knowing you had a track and field event?
Yes, I've done it.
I got you.
We've done it.
That's not too bad, but I definitely do get that aspect. It's just that when you're making all that money on the side without people knowing, of course, you're a guaranteed first round pick in the NFL. You would think that it would cross your head at least once that you got a lot of stuff to lose. And there are athletes out there that truly do suffer from mental health. I mean, that pressure is real. Like, if you holding up the Heisman Trophy and you're expected to repeat and not improve that performance, that pressure is there. But it all comes down to discipline.
Yeah, it's for sure discipline. Discipline and accountability is the main thing behind that. But he was wild for getting drunk at combine.
It was during the NFL combine.
Yeah, like, he was wild for that. If y'all haven't watched the documentary, definitely go watch it. It's so informative. I feel like they need to actually add a part 2 to it. But he was wild. And I mean, you get to the NFL and you still watch Zero Film, you wasn't trying. Like, you didn't know the career for real.
That's what I'm saying with the discipline part. Once you get to the league.
Yeah, once you get to the league, okay.
Like,
That's different.
Exactly. All that party stuff is over. Now you're making millions.
Yeah, he was in Cincinnati. He was wild. Ain't nothing out there, so that's why he was really turned up like that. I don't know what I'm saying.
And I want to give a big big salute to his homie. I can't think of his name at the time, but it was his friend that kept covering his butt throughout all his mess ups. Like he had to cut him off.
He didn't have to do that though.
He really did.
He did that on his own will. So he can't hold that against. He can't hold that against him.
Yeah, he was
Like I get it, y'all buddies, but nah.
He just used that as an example for his own mistakes, and he's still on the documentary showing love to him, saying, "Oh, he's still my best friend." But I get that we had to part ways. I'm like, he didn't deserve that.
Look, people in your life for a season and for a reason. And don't let people be in your life for more than the season than they are intended to be in.
I get it, but
'Cause if he helped- if he-
he was a real friend though.
He was a real friend, but at the same time, like you said, his friend ain't holding him accountable. His friend ain't making him be disciplined. Like your circle should make you be the person that you want to be. And if he's contributing to the bad habits that he's already doing, then it's kind of like why? Like I get why he had to let him go in that context, and he couldn't expect that from him. But I don't know.
That's like me, like
It's kind of basic. I mean, I wouldn't do that personally,
that's like me if I got super drunk at a party and I was like driving recklessly and stuff, and I cut out Isaiah when he tried to help me out. So it's like I would cut out my dog because like, he's been with me since the jump. So it's like I don't like that, but then again I do understand.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't like that. Yeah.
So,
I'm a Pisces, so I cling to people anyways.
I don't know nothing about horoscopes, so
Me either. That's all I know about me.
I'm a Gemini, so I guess people hate us or something.
I mean, that's what you claim.
Yeah.
That's what you claim. I didn't claim that for me.
I just show that people want to beef. It's like I ain't even trying to talk beef or nothing. So, and another thing I've really been keeping up with is the Michael Oher situation. That's taking me off a lot.
Talk about it. Because what did I just read? What do you mean the blind side wasn't real?
No, it was funny because I watched it last night.
I think I
watched it last night too.
I want my tear back.
Yeah. Because when and I ain't gonna lie, when I watched it with such an open mind and a different scope. It turned into a comedy film for me. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, you watched it recently? That's what you mean? Oh, okay.
Because remember the scene where Michael was in high school trying to block, and then he randomly looked up in the sky and stared at the balloons. It's a long time, so I doubt you guys remember it, but it's just a little stupid stuff like that. I can just imagine him at home just pissed off with his fist ball like, it's some bullshit. Like, I already know what he meant.
He didn't really have any contributions to that film, right?
No, he had no contribution.
That's crazy. Y'all had a film about me, and I can't say what happened to me in the film. That's nuts. You only went based off of what they said.
Yeah, and they had him doing lineman drills with the Tui son, SJ. I'm talking about he's like 5, 6 years old.
Yeah, because SJ should not have had a role like that in
I'm saying, like, they don't do drills, but he been playing football since he was young. That's the biggest misconception that they have. Like, he was very knowledgeable in it, but they made him look like a dumbass in the film. That's why I didn't like about it.
Yeah, they talked about that too. I think I've seen a recent interview about that, how they portrayed him in the film and how it's not true. But I mean, how many films do we think that they just did that for the production of the film? Like they didn't really do that based off of the true story. They just kind of tried to add something to it.
It's really a lot of it, but that's why I really have a complete dislike of white savior films because they always try to portray the black man as stupid, incapable, and then they have the white person come and say, "Oh, come with me and I'll send you to the promised land." It's like they're giving out this trope of the closer you are to whiteness, the better your life will become. Whereas you can't even, like, that's not even true. You can be around your own people and still thrive. But the sad part is there's such a wealth gap between our community and white folks. Like Michael stayed with a mechanic, a black man that was a mechanic, but that's the problem. He wasn't rich. So they could have helped him out early, but the two he just came in, and I say pray, but then again, I don't know the full story, but there's a lot of people like the Tuies out there that take in black kids on the street.
All the time.
Always.
In different industries, all the time.
Like even in Austin.
And then don't dress them appropriately, their hair don't be combed properly like the other kids. They don't do what.
Like, Mike on the movie looking like, where's Waldo? I'm like, come on. I know y'all be dressed like that in person.
Waldo? He did have that shirt on. I think I got a shirt like that actually though. It's actually kind of clean. It's like a crop top.
I better not see where
I'm gonna wear it just to show you. I'm gonna show you blind side. It's fine. But that situation is messed up. I hope, because also I was reading that not only did the parents get money, the siblings also got money as well. What do they get paid for? Why am I not getting? Why Does no one fight for me in that moment to say, like, I should be getting something too? And it's about me. That makes absolutely no sense to me how this even went over everyone's head. But I get it for him in that situation. He probably really didn't know.
Yeah, because think about it. Once you go to any hood in America, do you think any kid knows what a conservatorship is? Do y'all know what a conservatorship is?
Honestly, I didn't know that until Britney Spears, to be honest. I really didn't know that until that. So,
like, he was signing that thinking, oh, like, I want a family. Okay, I'm going to just sign that. He wouldn't know what the hell a conservatorship is. It's basically giving out your rights, your financial ability, and it's giving all your control to your guardians.
and all because he was over 18 at that time. That's why he had to sign that.
And that's the tricky part about Memphis, because once you turn 18, a conservatorship is the only thing that you have to adopt somebody. That's the biggest loophole to it. So he's just looking at all this blindside money going to them, and he's just thinking, where's my cut at? And then they have the nerve to say that he's trying to have a $50 million shakedown, like threatening to go public. But the thing is, he already told y'all probably, like, where's the money at?
Right, because actually 30.
It's not his fault that he's trying to steal the money.
15. Y'all made that movie went crazy.
Yeah, it makes
so
sense.
I need minimum 30. He have a whole family.
But to find out after getting married is crazy too.
Yeah, he found out as he was getting married. A wedding alone is already so much stress. I mean, I don't know myself, but just being a part of other weddings, like, that's already stressful. So to have that as well, and then the whole world, but then he's about to go on a book tour as well.
Yeah, he just
So-
released a book. I want to say,
Yeah.
I gotta look it up.
So they're trying to say that the reason he released this now is because to push his book tour. But it's like, yeah, and we win too.
And it's crazy because there was a TV show called Below Deck that released, I want to say a year ago or so, and they had Sean Toohey in it. And he was pretty much explaining how he started the production of The Blind Side. He talked to Steven Spielberg, Harvey Weinstein, get that Harvey Weinstein. And he had
I
no,
kind of seen everything.
he had no explanation of Michael or anywhere. Like, he wasn't even involved. So I looked at that and I was just thinking, you already knew what you were trying to do. You trying to take advantage of this young man, and he was just out trying to go out there playing football. There's a lot of families out there that prey on kids like that, even people back in Austin.
Yeah.
I can
Oh,
tell
I
you.
know about Austin.
I can't tell you. I say chill out. But
I was just telling you, I don't know too much about Austin, so.
it ain't that bad of a city though. So try to show love with me. I know you ag town kind of.
Yeah, don't forget it.
Aggravating, but you know.
No, never had.
Yeah,
Never had.
But I can't tell you how many homies I seen back in Austin that were in that exact same situation. And once they didn't go pro, they got dropped like a bad habit. Like, literally just, okay, you didn't make pro, we didn't know it. Like, that stuff is real.
But that happens in general though. Like,
Yeah.
people, friends, like, that think you're gonna make it, and then when you don't make it, it happens, you know. But it just sucks to see it on this scale. Like, y'all made a whole movie about it. Like, dog, you didn't think you was gonna find out. That's what gets me, and I'm curious to just see how it all plays out at the end, because it's gonna come out though. A lot of stuff is gonna come out. I think a lot of people who were involved back then will start to come to light and really just speak their piece on that. So
Yeah, and I hope everything works out, because stories like that, I just can't. It always just irks me when it comes to that, because the white family is always gonna portray them like, oh, we're still gonna love them at 37 like we did at 16. Oh, we're trying to shake it down with money, but we still
you don't love your regular kid the same as you did at 16 and 37. They require different things at different phases of their life.
Exactly.
So that's how I know y'all are capping. You just saying that because it looks good, it feels good. That was for you, that wasn't for him.
And I just say when everybody's trying to get on, saying, oh, you knew about this in 2011. Like I said earlier, you don't know what a conservatorship is. Do y'all know how to spell conservatorship? All right, do it real quick.
We dealing with an educated audience. Do not do
That's what I'm
that.
asking.
This is
See,
your
this is
side.
why y'all should root for the Giants.
This is your side. We went to the library.
I'm just saying, let's just go back to it, because this is why. I'm just showing y'all my logic here. Y'all are geniuses. Right?
All right, so spell conservatorship.
C-O-N conservative. S-E-R-V conservatorship. C-O-N-S-E-R-V-A-T-O-R-S-H-I-P conservatorship.
Aquila and the B don't got nothing on. Let's go, Giants!
See how much I'm
I'm
talking
just
about?
saying. Like, I'm making sense now. I'm throwing all my points out. I'm just saying.
But I kind of want to shift gears to the NBA now.
Okay, thank you for the NBA thing. I'm more of an NFL girly, but I've been tuned into the NBA. I think the biggest thing that happened, well, not the biggest thing, but the current
It could be the biggest thing if you know how to talk about it.
Talking about James Harden? That's the biggest thing for you?
Quick question. Y'all think he wears fat suits?
Bro, a fat suit is crazy. A fat suit is crazy.
I'm saying, bro. Like,
No, he just, bro, have y'all not been to 13? You eat that menu every day, you're gonna look like that. Like,
Yeah.
like, come on now.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, that Houston lifestyle will weigh on you literally. Like,
Crazy.
he's here, he be here. Like,
He's here right now.
Yes, exactly. It's James Harden weekend. Like, what are you saying?
But I'm just saying, he always puts up this little act of he's gonna have the best shape of his life in the off season,
Yeah.
and once the season comes, boom.
Hey, look,
Big as hell.
after he said dude is alive, that's when he started.
Oh yeah, when he said now that's even crazy. It's actually crazy that he did that. He was in China, right?
He was in China.
That's crazy that you
really
did that in
smart.
China because I guess that's smart. Is it very tactical of him?
Yeah, check it out.
So pretty much, their boy had a whole situation with China because there was a Hong Kong protest going on, and he was showing support of them. Now, I'm not too versed on that, so I'm gonna be careful with my word choice. But apparently,
Don't get us canceled.
that's what I said.
I got this.
You know the internet. I don't do that. So he showed support of the protests, and the NBA is in cahoots with China. I'm talking about what, 200 million, almost $1 billion, and they lost so many business deals because of that tweet. Even Tillman Fertitta got pissed at him because he even commented on this situation. So Harden with the China knowing that he can't say too much on that end and said, "Oh, he's a liar. I'll never believe him." Whoopie whoop. And what can Morey say? He's dead. Can't really speak too much of that end.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I would if I was him. I wouldn't because at this stage, it's like this is too messy. You done involved a whole other country.
Right.
So now it's kind of like I have to be very, very careful because these days you say one wrong thing, you're done.
Mm-hmm.
You're canceled. But I don't know what's gonna happen with that because it's kind of like he's forcing the 76 hand to do something, but it's like what will happen? Because really, this is really all about money. How he moving to me, it have to be solely about money. They probably promised him because his contract was like
He had a huge pay cut. I don't know the exact numbers, but he was promised a bigger deal this offseason, but he didn't get it.
right, and depending on how big that deal is, I would go to China too.
Yeah, he was saying he would play in China for 1 year too.
He can't. I'm not paying China.
China's a-
Do y'all think James Harden will play in China?
No.
I don't think he would. I really. It's not giving the White House type vibe.
He been on how many teams in the past?
Right, he doing too much. Like
4, 5.
at the end of the day, though, he has to also like, although he may not like the situation that he in, it's how you go about things. Like you're still a brand at the end of the day, and some teams don't want to even bring that baggage to them. Like your negative press is not really doing good for anybody at this stage. So it's kind of like no one's fighting for you, and like you doing all this. Who's really begging for James Harden at this stage?
Nobody.
Based off of his
Definitely
recent
not.
performances, like who is saying, "Oh, we gotta get James Harden. What can we do to get James Harden?" I don't think anybody's realistically doing that, and it's not no shade to James Harden, but it's just like this situation. You doing all this?
No, it's,
I don't know.
It's all the shade of mine because I always thought he was calm.
Okay, shady.
And
Tell
I
us.
don't know the life facing Brian Shade.
Yeah, it is. I see it. It's like
But he had almost every single superstar in the league. He had Westbrook, CP3, White, John Wall. Like he had everybody in the book, and he still couldn't win.
Yeah.
And once he see a situation don't play all right, he's gonna ask for a trade and put on fat suits. And he really do. But it's just that you had every opportunity to book, you still can't win. You can't even win with Joel Embiid. In game 6 and 7,
Yeah,
that's all. Like, if I was Daryl Morey, I wouldn't pay him either. I don't know why he's upset.
But then why would you promise him that too, though? On the opposite, on the flip side, like why would you promise him that if you know he's not even producing that? If you know that lately, I mean, on paper, he not getting that on paper. So why would you grant that, knowing that you ain't really gonna grant that? Was that just a tactic on his end? And is that wrong? As a business, if it's not written down, signed, all that, and I just said, hey, I'm gonna pay you $130 million next year. Just keep up the good work.
But here's the thing.
Does that really hold any weight?
But here's the thing. Production produces checks. Once he came in the field, he was putting up 20 points, 10 assists, 8 rebounds.
Right.
Great. But once the playoffs came,
Right.
after game 1 and 2 of the semis, he kind of fell off a little bit. So as GM, you gotta make the decision that's best for the team.
Right.
And the best thing for Philly right now is to keep Harden on that contract. I wouldn't give him a max. Because his game was gonna fall
I don't
off.
feel like he's next worthy. Like, what have you done? Really though, like,
Not anymore.
like how? I really just would love to sit down with James Harden and see, like, why do you think you deserve a max contract?
Now you gotta be careful with players, because you can't ask them like what makes you think you get paid. Like they don't play about their money. But at the same time,
Because somebody question me about my money, I'd be like,
yeah, like you can't be asking athletes like that. But like I said, the production gotta be on par. If he keep falling off like that, committing turnovers, like I remember this one game back in 2017 when we played against the Spurs. Remember when you got locked by Ronald Ginobili?
6
not
points.
to know.
The dude was 40 years old. Oh my god.
It
That was
happens.
a sin I didn't like Harden. But I know I'm in Houston, I could jump if I said that, but I don't care.
You care.
But nah, he's one of the most coddled athletes in the league. And at this point, his career is only going to dwindle. And the best thing he could do to get a ring is be a third or fourth option.
Yeah.
But it's something for him to decide. That's what
You need to learn how to be a team player, bro. It's not all about you. That's really what it is. Like, he want to be the sole star so bad. It's like, bro, you couldn't win with people. What make you think you're gonna win without them? Like, you have to be a team player at some point. Like, I get it, money is involved and everything like that, but it just, you gotta come to a middle ground. Like, be realistic at some point. Like, I can get it, asking for more money, yeah, okay, but it gotta be some type of middle ground when it comes to stuff like that, especially when you're not fully producing what you're saying that you want. So
yeah, and he said he might skip training camp too. So what I feel like is gonna happen, he's gonna try and sit out, and then by the trade deadline, they're gonna trade him to some random ass team that he didn't want to go to, like Sacramento.
I was about to say, what team?
Like, just go
Sacramento?
somewhere Illinois or Toronto.
And he can get over there and take off that fat suit, like you said.
He gonna try to come back to Houston, man.
I just don't see that happening though.
I think that's where you want to be, but I feel like you did all that knowing that this is where you wanted to be. So, like, why did you do that? They wouldn't have got rid of you.
Because it's his friends. He wants to go with his friends.
I know, trying to go out to honest, you know what I'm saying?
You wanted him to go with his friends. Yeah. He wanted to see what it was like, but then he said he didn't like it.
He realized that he never gonna win a ring, so he said, might as well just come back and see.
Yeah, he felt like it was the same thing. I might as well come back to where my business is, where I'm handling business. I feel like, realistically though, I probably would have did some stuff like that. Like, this, let me go see real quick. I'm like, all right, come get me, please.
But that's the part I'm trying to figure out. Like, if he does come to Houston, like, you know how many guards they got on that team?
That's too much.
They got Jalen.
I don't know. I don't even know what the Rockets got going on for real. They got too much.
Like, I like the Thompson. They got what he said.
They got too much. I wasn't even trying to bring it up. I just said they got too much going on over there. Man, you know, I'm just gonna mind my business when it comes to stuff like that. But
I ain't got nothing to do with
speak your piece though. They got a lot of
I know what I like. I've been to.
They need to clean house. They do got too much going on.
They got a lot going on. I feel like they have a lot of issues. Like, it's a lot of young players over there as well. But I feel they gotta get that under control as far as from just a foundation standpoint, because they will not be
I
able.
don't know if they can get that under control, but that's kind of.
That's Houston sports. I feel like in general, like that's just how all y'all operate crazy like that. I forgot. I get into that. That's the Dallas side of me to come down. My bad. I'll dial it back. My bad.
How much Dallas people always have to be?
So I knew you was gonna go there. I just was.
You mentioned Dallas first,
That's
though.
it. I did.
Yeah, trying that.
I did. They
all
knew
all
that.
that's for real. So I don't know.
Okay, what's the problem?
Okay.
What's the beef? You probably really fucking
No, about Houston though. I just don't know what they're gonna do with their guards. So they got Jalen Green, Amen Thompson, KPJ, Cam Whitmore. They got 5 guards on their team, so
I don't think they even know what they're gonna do, to be honest. I think they really are still trying to figure it out. And it looked good on paper, you know, he was like, oh, okay, Rockets actually, they spending their bread right. And then you get to looking like, wait, but how does this function? Like, how does this all come together? Like, y'all getting all these individual pieces and you're trying to build a franchise, but it's like, this kind of starting not to make sense. So James Harden, I don't know. Can he come back? What he can get rid of? I don't know.
they would have to use a lot of cap space to bring him back because I think he's still looking for a max. But the way they're trying to move on with their team, like they're trying to go with youthful route, and which I don't know why they got Dylan Brooks and Fred VanVleet. That's beyond me. But to bring Harden back, that's gonna be super hard because I would go for Jaylen Brown. If they really
I like
wanted to,
JB.
like if they wanted to eventually trade for him in the future, I would rather go that route because Harden's on the decline.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you can't say no to a hometown hero. Right? If I'm telling in his head he won't say no to that, I would.
Yeah.
But he would. So.
I can see that. I can see it both ways. I can see it both ways. Because it's just like the community really plays a part in how players come to Houston. And I can see that being a thing. That's definitely an option.
All I know is those tickets better be cheap. I'm trying to go to a bunch of games this year.
They're cheap right now. Definitely going.
Facts.
Definitely pulling them.
Facts. And what else going on in the off season? Oh yeah.
Wait, you talking about job? Or you talking about Zion? Who you talking about?
Well, I seen a picture of Zion online.
He looked kind of fit.
Like, I know.
Well, he better be fit.
I'm messing with the boys, so it's kind of.
Look, he been in the gym. He been very quiet. He really couldn't be on Twitter for real because Shawty was on Twitter with him. So he really months. She probably still on there. We probably can go on there right now. Like,
Oh, Shorty released a song.
she released a song?
Yes, she released a whole
All right.
song about I seen some people saying she's good.
What is going on there?
I know.
That's a lie. We need to, Elon Musk need to go ahead and deactivate that.
But Zion, he's just young, making mistakes. I'm not even gonna get on with it.
Mistakes?
I'm just thinking.
Was that how he is?
Zion slipping.
That's what he's into. That's what he's into. He just got caught.
He probably ain't never had nothing like that.
Man, y'all are cap. Be quiet.
But here's the thing about it. If you're an athlete making a ton
He
of
worked
money,
his way up.
if you're an athlete making a ton of money, there's so many women you could choose from other than that. I'm not disrespecting them in their profession. You get your bread, I ain't hating it. But there's so many beautiful women out here to choose from. Like, why go for that?
Because he never ate.
You say both black, the big mama's black.
That's
she's
true,
black.
she black. The baby mama is black.
In North Carolina, like I'm excited that they're black. I don't
Yeah,
think that.
I'm here for that.
He's young and lit.
I'm here for that.
He had a little
But she was kind of thorough on the Twitter. The Twitter is what, like at first with the situation, I was like, okay, whatever, typical athlete, like okay. And then I was just looked like she was really going hard. She was like,
Most pictures of them in the
one,
bed.
it's not even about the pictures, because the pictures is just pictures, whatever. Y'all know what y'all was doing, whatever. We get it. But it was the every 2 minutes, like you tweeting like, oh, you fat this, you. I'm like, and I was like, oh, he really got her hooked, like hooked. She still would, and the thing about it, she would have took him back right then and there if he would have said like.
She was paying her rent every single month. So
Wait, she was paying her?
he was paying at least $12K a month. Yeah.
Trying to see nuts like.
Now, if I was with a girl and I love her like that, I would definitely pay her rent. But if it's like a little thing or a side piece, I ain't. You better fend for
But
yourself.
clearly she thought she was more. I think like she
Yeah.
just hurt, like it was the pregnancy
Yeah.
that she was just hurt, and I think some people react differently.
Yeah, no, cause I would have been acting crazy too. What you mean you got a baby on the
You'll
way?
be tweeting about every single day.
No,
Exposing them.
on my fake page. Not on the real page. Wow.
Come on.
Beginner, I'm just saying.
That's crazy. But nah, if you out there, if anybody in the audience get a ton of money, whatever business they're involved in, please choose the right woman.
Yeah,
That
'cause
will make everything.
that is so important. Your significant other. Because, you know, your significant other is very important. And, you know, you're supportive. take that. I'm a great candidate. No, I'm just kidding.
But no, you definitely got to pick the right one. Because that'll make your career take off.
Yeah.
Depending on who it is.
Yeah.
You're the
Just
right
having
one.
somebody in your corner, somebody supportive, somebody that's there, that listens to you, and just really being your second-hand person. Like, that's important. You know, because we only here for a short period of time. Like, we won't be here forever. So you want to make sure that you're with people who add quality to your life.
Right.
That's just what it is. Friends, significant other, all that.
Absolutely. See, I love your words. You never say it like that.
Oh man, actually a poet.
But so right now we're gonna go into a little intermission, and then once that's done, we'll be right back. So thank you guys for joining the show right now. But yeah, so I don't think we gave like a good enough background of like who we are and where we came from. So I kind of want to expand on that.
I tried.
You did?
It was you.
Okay, you're right with me. But so my backstory is I have my own podcast called In My Humble Opinion. I started it back in 2019 when it was a live show for Texas Southern. Then the pandemic happened. I had to be posting in the crib. I bought my microphone, just post up there and went to work since. 2020, I want to say 2020, 2021, I started my own media group called Oher Film TV. It was originally Unfiltered Media, but about 20 people got that same name, so I had to change it up a little bit. And I got some members in the crowd right here, so give a little hand clap.
That's why I got a lot to say. Okay.
Hey, we're a great team.
I like that. I like that. Collaboration and support.
Absolutely. So we really just wanted to create our own platform where we produce podcasts, videography service. We actually covered live program events. I actually got the chance to fly out to Kansas and cover the Arena Football Association. So a lot of things been popping off with that brand. So just hoping to keep it growing. So and now we got our own live shows.
I know, a live show, the lights, the audience, like we're really here in the flesh. It's a long time coming.
Absolutely.
I didn't think I would be here at all. Like, you would have asked me 5 years ago, like, what would I be doing today? I probably would have said a beach.
That's nice too, though.
Yeah, with being fed like grapes or something. I don't know. For some reason, that's the vision I have in my head. It'll come to fruition one day.
That was definitely
I think I started, dang, what a year would I? COVID just really had my years messed up. Like, let's just say I started my podcast around that time. And the front pages has always been named that. Basically, it's a podcast that shares everything that you would typically see on your front page. I just wanted to find something else that I was interested in, trying to transfer from being an athlete to real world. That's hard, okay. It's easier said than done, and just finding different things that make you feel good, make you just radiate on the inside, want to keep going and keep doing. And I think I like to talk. Like, I love to talk, I love to entertain people, and the podcast was just like the perfect thing. My friend Gia, she actually has her own podcast called the Gia Logic Experience. And just watching her and going to her live shows and listening to her podcast every week, every day, whatever her schedule was at that time, and just having people around me that was really into that field. It was like, dang, that's dope. Like, you could really create a brand that generates around you and surrounds you. And I really just love that idea, especially when we're just talking about sports that I do anyways. Like, I talk mess on a daily about anything. It don't matter the topic, but when it came to sports, it was already something that I was in, and just being on the opposite side now, jumping into sports media, sports broadcasting, it was just different, and it was something that I wasn't necessarily the best at, but it works. Yeah, you do, for sure. You definitely have to start somewhere, but just learning the ins and outs, meeting different people. I mean, meeting you was to even do this is crazy to me. Like, this morning, as you talk about your morning, I thought it was so peaceful because I was just sitting back like, wow, like, we are really doing the things that we said we were going to do, and to see it come to fruition and be in real life, it's just like, it's an amazing feeling. Like, this is like kind of the standard, and to see like even the bigger picture of where we are to go, I'm glad we started somewhere.
Definitely. Yeah, it's something we've been working on for months. I mean, we talk about a lot of ideas.
Yeah, I'm an idea generator. If y'all don't know, if y'all ever need an idea, let me know. I will pick my brain. It don't matter what it's about. Like, I love helping people and really trying to get their, like, tell me your vision so I can, like, okay, maybe you should do this. Like, ooh, I was thinking about this the other day, or something inspired me about. Like, that's my type of vibe. That's just how I maneuver. So
She actually gives really great advice. Like, every time I think of an idea, I always come to her saying, hey, what do you think about
I appreciate that you do that, because you trust me. You trust me? You trust me? Trust is a hard thing, though. Like, to be honest. So the fact that you trust me with your ideas, to like be a gatekeeper of your ideas and just speak life into your ideas, like that's a good feeling for me, because it just means that like I'm doing what my purpose on this earth is to do. So
Right. But I tell people a lot of ideas that like, I'm crazy.
oh, I'm pretty sure my friends think I'm wild. They be like, girl, be quiet. Like, but I be like, yeah, one day billboard, like, ooh, yeah, on the ocean.
And then 5 years later, boom, it happened.
Yeah.
Oh, I believe in you.
It be happening. This is like my food page though, because I also operate a food blog called PSC Approved. It's about all
30K followers. 30K.
Yeah.
I'll give them
Yeah,
a-
30K. That's crazy. No, it's crazy because I literally jumped from like 6,000 followers to 34 in like 20 days. So to see that jump, it was like, oh, y'all like me, okay? Like I'm rocking with it, because it's just like when you create something that people actually utilize as a tool, it was just like, this is bigger than what I even imagined. Like, y'all wasn't even supposed to find out on that page.
Really?
Yeah, that wasn't for y'all, that was for me.
People like food though too. I mean, you can't be the only
Yeah,
one.
but I was trying to keep track of where I'm eating. I ain't worried about y'all. And then y'all start finding it, liking it, sharing it. And I'm like, oh, y'all actually enjoy this. So now it's like I can merge my urge to be creative and my love for food together. And it's more than just food, but mainly it's food. But yeah, it's crazy.
You're actually doing the Lord's work out there, because even though you are showcasing these restaurants, you're giving them business. So that's always a good thing too.
Yeah, especially businesses in the Black community. I really love to work with them. Like, I even lower my rates for them a lot of the times, because I just want to see them win. Like, there was one, even during, it wasn't Hurricane Harvey, it was another like winter storm, the freeze. People were using my page to know what places were open during that time, because a lot of restaurants was closed. And I actually partnered with Trill Taco. It was a taco spot in Most City. They're closed now. It was Black owned, but I partnered with him, and we did like 100 free tacos for people just to come and eat. So just like being able to give back to in this position, like that's a blessing in itself. So
Yeah, it is, absolutely. And I really salute you for that, because
oh,
you're really
thank you for the flowers.
Yeah, we all gotta give out the flowers when you can still smell them. That's
Yeah,
what
no facts.
Absolutely.
Because COVID was about to take out all our senses.
Wait, so
I'm over here telling everybody, I love you.
But no, like, big salute to you, big salute to the front
Thank
pages.
you, thank
You know I laugh about you with the play of words.
I know you be hating on me. You know, when you have a name like me, like my name is Paige, so I've heard every joke in the book since childhood about my name. And I was like, the front pages, like everybody, when you go to the newspaper, you read mainly what's on the front page. Nobody read what's on page 4. Like, be for real. You read what's on the front page.
I read the 5th page.
Okay, what, that's a puzzle or something? What, I used to read that section.
Sports is kind of like in the 5th, 4th page.
Yeah, but the sports that's on the front page, that's what you read.
The weather in the back. So, I mean, I like to know what's going
I
on.
mean, we got the weather on our phone. We ain't really trying to read that.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, I don't need to see a picture of the sun to know it's gonna be hot in Houston. Like,
Yeah, but weather may be lying and stuff too. Like,
they do. So we might as well just go outside by ourselves, sit on your balcony, be like, it's hot.
Or just do this, like,
That don't work.
yeah, no,
What does that even do?
You got me from the
Why do people
country.
have to put their finger in and not to do that?
But it's a country.
Be for real.
It's a
In our country
country.
too. We don't do that in the country. You throw something up and see which way it blows.
Which way? That's the same. It's
So
not the
look at
same
this.
thing as this.
I don't feel any wind like this.
It's no
wind.
ratio. Like if it's supposed to rain, it was a little harder. If it's calm.
So what does this do? For real, be for real. Y'all do that? When y'all go outside, check the weather. What y'all do? Or when you trying to check which direction the wind blowing, you throw some up in the air.
Yeah, like this.
Don't what you say?
You can smell what it's about to rain. Like, you can.
Okay, this is not smelling. You're not smelling this.
You're feeling it though. That's the thing.
Okay.
It's a country
But
thing.
you still don't know which way is northwest, east, and south.
Yeah, I don't know that. I don't know what it is. I'm just throwing this. Okay, the wind blowing this way, this way. We're gonna run this way. Like we go. You know, I'm not.
More than that though. You can't just be throwing stuff.
Bro, you are not checking the weather. You're not even doing anything
You
outside.
checking the weather. I know it's pretty certain.
You do not be outside.
I do be outside. That's right. Not too much. But at least I know. I try to know what's going on for sure.
Yeah.
But one thing about you being an athlete though, you used to be a track athlete at weights, right?
Yeah.
Here's a fun fact about me. I got.
I'm sorry, because I just feel like it's gonna be something crazy.
So I got cut from junior college before coming to Texas Southern because I played basketball all through high school from young and all the way up. And then one of the things that made me start this podcast or even get into journalism is me getting cut from junior college. And you know, that's what gives me a lot of respect for it because there's a lot of Division I players coming in that didn't have the grades, an incident happened, and I have to go up against them to make the team. So after that happened, I really just wanted to redirect my career path. And even as I'm talking about these athletes, I learned that there's a certain respect because I never made it to that level. You know, it's about a self-awareness that I try to have. Because in my own podcast, I criticize athletes, but I try to keep it at the end. I hope they do better or they could do this if they did that. Because a lot of people in the media today, like I feel like we're filled with journalists that's on like a revenge tour, like, oh, I didn't make the team, I'm gonna make sure they feel me. I'm gonna talk about them, talk shit. Like I try my best not to be like that because I experienced it myself, but that made me grow a love for the game, specifically basketball. And I'm actually gonna tell you this funny story too. So I was decent at basketball. I wasn't the best, but I worked hard. I actually needed to work. So I'm gonna take it back to AAU. It was my sophomore year, and a lot of guys on my AAU varsity team they couldn't make the weekend. So my team had to play up the JV. I played up against this 6'10" big man named Dominique Woodson. He eventually played for Memphis. He played for the University of Tennessee and some other school. And I had to match against him. So I was standing in the middle of the paint, and I was trying to, you know, watch the fast break, trying to guard everybody. And I couldn't see from my right. So Dominique cut to the side, grabbed the ball, then he rose up, and then he just dunked on me. And I was on the side looking, and I didn't realize until it was too late.
It's on YouTube.
Thank God it's not. Thank God it's not.
Dang, I was so about to say this. Somebody.
So Don went up and banged him and dunked on me. And then I was sitting on the ground like, you know them zombies when they be coming up to life? I was sitting on the ground just like this. And then he came up to me and he was like, "You alright, young fella?" And I was like,
Boy, that's
It was so bad. But I always look back at it fondly because I never had an ego when it comes to it. Like it's just a phase of my life that I had fun in. I put in a lot of work. And now I'm just transferred over to this, and I just love this even more. So,
yeah.
but I really respect that you made it to that level because I could learn something from you too.
I feel like I learned something from you too, because like that's actually I've never thought about that perspective. So for you to say that and speak on just how journalists sometimes they are athletes who didn't make it to that stage, it makes a lot of sense sometimes about how they speak, and because they don't know, they didn't experience. It's different talk when you experience something versus something you speaking on what you don't know. But I feel like as a woman in sports, a lot of times we get that perception as well because I don't know what it's like in a football locker room. I never played football, but I can speak. I know football enough to speak on it and speak on talent and speak on what I see. But it could be the same thing, vice versa. So, I mean, I feel like both perspectives definitely give something to the conversation and just to the world of journalism itself.
Yeah, I keep in mind I wasn't Skip Bayless in high school. I didn't average.
Oh, he's a menace.
I ain't doing all
But
that.
he's a menace. He's a menace for no reason. Like, he's just sad with life. But
Yeah, He even posted something on his podcast saying, "Why wasn't LeBron James at the Wayne Rice
Bro.
Hall of Fame induction?" Like, his son
He
is at a heart
does
attack.
knows about LeBron James. Like that man is obsessed with him. He's a grown man. It's some stuff I'm like, I had to one time like quote his tweet. I'm like, you're a grown man. Like you should be ashamed of carrying on like this about LeBron James.
Yeah.
Like you're sick.
But the bad part is these networks are paying people like that. He's on a $48 million contract with them.
We ain't gonna talk about that right now. Cause they ain't paying people who need to be paid. And that's just what it is. And we know why, but I ain't gonna even go there today.
That's what I'm trying to
I'm
do.
choosing peace today. I'm trying to choose peace today. Y'all pressing my buttons.
So the one thing I really liked about this is that despite having journalists out there that always talk mess from their own bully pulpit, athletes are starting their own podcast.
Yeah, I love it. Love it.
Like you got Paul George's podcast,
Yeah.
Jeff T's podcast is funny as hell. I don't know if I've seen it. Yeah, that shit. They just had Mike Epps on like what, a week ago?
Really?
Yes.
Damn, I gotta go watch that. I'm a fan of Mike Epps, so I'm gonna have to go watch that.
Like he was talking about the city of Milwaukee. He said that city is so dusty they need to put lotion on every single corner of the town. I'm like, well,
Yeah, because realistically, what is there? I'm not going there for fun.
I mean, there's something to do with Milwaukee. Like that.
Damn, freeze your ass.
You're
Okay.
boy.
I'm trying to get you some love. Sorry.
It ain't nothing there. You can't
I
even
got a
make
couple.
over there.
I got a couple partners from Milwaukee, so I'm not
From
trying to-
Milwaukee?
From
Ain't that
Milwaukee.
where the kid juice was?
Yeah, that's the George situation.
I mean, well, there's probably a reason why they left, but I mean, I digress.
Yeah.
It's like everybody starts their own redemption story when they move to Houston. It's like their
Yeah.
life starts when they come here. So,
It's alright though. You know, new city, new them. Yeah. Why you hating? They happy.
I'm not hating. I'm the one who wants.
Oh, so you acting totally different.
Nah, not too different.
Okay.
Not too different. Nah, I'm still the same me, still the
Yeah.
same Wilson, but at the same time, Houston kind of made me.
No, I know what you mean though. I know what you mean. A lot of people do come in. Houston will suck you up and spit you out.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely that part. But
Wow. And I'm not sitting here on here thinking we getting along the whole time. Hey, you two. You two. Are we really watching?
I'm about to talk.
Y'all are sick. You know what? I'm gonna pray for y'all tomorrow. Each and
I've
every
been
one of
praying
y'all.
since last week.
What?
I've been praying all day. So.
But this is why I do love that athletes have their own podcast because they can speak freely and it comes out directly from them. No one has to say so and so said this and then so and so said this. It's like no, I said this. I said this and that. So I love the aspect of athletes finding their own voice. I mean, you're hearing all about these layoffs from ESPN. I mean, consistent layoffs. It's kind of like we can't even depend on a network, so I have to build my own network. Think about during COVID, I am an athlete. That podcast had us in a chokehold, literally. Like, we was all like excited for the episodes to come out every week. So I love the fact that athletes are doing it. It's offering a new, fresh perspective. It's not coded. It's not structured in a way to where you can't say this, you can't say that. Like some of them be saying some wild stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay.
Do you know what I think is going to happen in the future though? When people are following like trades or free agency speculations, they're going to start breaking their own news on their own podcast. I feel like that would be a smarter idea than hearing, whoa,
Yeah.
Sham trying to break it.
Because they get Woj and Sham are getting paid to do that. So why wouldn't I get paid to break my own news?
Exactly. I mean,
Break my teammate news.
they're the athlete that's probably getting traded or have a teammate that's getting traded. I mean, wouldn't that
Right.
make sense?
But then that's kind of that see, and then it's gonna get a little messy then. Because if I'm telling you, if I'm Draymond Green telling you why I punched Jordan Poole, then like it's messy. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah, I ain't gonna get started on Draymond Green. I got plenty.
why? I like him. I think his attitude is very refreshing. And it's like don't talk to me no. Y'all know how to approach him.
It's competitive, but if you really look at it from a different scope, he's the reason why Golden State didn't get more rings like they should. Like, he's the reason why KD ran off because he kept saying,
Wow.
"Oh, we didn't need you. You came to us," which is true, but you know.
So you give Draymond that much power.
But you're talking about KD, the guy that has 5 different burner accounts. He's already kind of sensitive, but at the same time, you don't want to put that tension in the locker room because at the end of the day, a team is a family.
Yeah.
You don't want to break that by saying, oh, you this and that, you need us. But that's true, but why?
Realistically, though, the whole team ain't really getting along. It's all on the side. Like, you my teammate on that court, but we're outside, I'll beat you up. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I always believe you when you said beat you.
I got siblings, so I'm used to talking crazy.
Yeah. I'm an only child, so I'm sadly.
Are you really?
Gang.
My dog, yes, sir. See, she cool. She really cool.
Y'all are rare. Very rare.
Always say that.
I couldn't imagine being an only child.
We just grew up in a quiet house. Like, that's really.
Yeah, quiet is not in any part of my
Quiet
life.
is peace. Quiet is peaceful.
I believe that.
Absolutely. So you were probably a sibling that was causing trouble and stuff, right?
No, actually, I'm the middle, so. What's that mean? I don't see anything wrong with this. I think we're actually.
You're the strongest
We
sibling.
don't have to talk about that.
I got you.
I don't want negativity on me. Sorry.
Oh, no negativity. Even though y'all are Giants fans, I ain't gonna be negative, but you put in Giants before.
Hey, the whole audience is for the Giants, actually. You missed that part. We can rewind to that. Don't worry.
We can't know about that. I don't know. But out of all the podcasts from afterwards, what's your favorite one that you watch?
Ooh, lately?
Lately.
I still be watching I Am an Athlete. Low key, but some of them, look, I can't. It's too much. It's so, overpacked. And honestly, I've been trying to get my own thing off the ground, so I'm really not trying to be so much of a consumer, but be more of a producer right now.
Right.
So I really haven't been tuned into a lot of athletes podcasts, especially with it being off season. Which I feel like this is the perfect time to be tuned in, but too much noise for me and hearing too many different opinions on a mic. I'm not really big on that. I'm not really big on hearing everybody's opinion about something. I already made up my opinion. I don't really care too much to hear an opposing side.
I'm just thinking that since regular journalists out there are starting their own podcasts and athletes starting their own, how are they going to navigate through that space? Because wouldn't you think that would be kind of oversaturated at that point?
I mean, everything is oversaturated. I mean, even doing a podcast is oversaturated. Any and everything is about how you make it different. I do like what, dang, what's her name? That's gonna kill me. Wow. Taylor Cook. How she's doing her thing. Like, I have been enjoying her podcast and her interviews. I think they've been very informative. The last one she did with Liz Cambage, the WNBA, that caused a lot of uproar. I'm surprised we didn't talk about that.
I thought about adding that in.
Yeah, I thought about that the other day. Yeah, it was a lot. But I mean, more of the story, it goes to show like anything that happens on a podcast can be very controversial. And like especially in that situation where I do feel like Liz Cambage was in the wrong in that situation. It's interesting to have her as the guest and speaking differently in that situation. And everybody now is coming on the sides like, no, that's not what really happened. So
when you watched that, did you kind of tell that she was kind of like BSing all the time, or you thought she was?
I mean, I always thought she was a BSer. I never thought differently.
I thought so. Because
I believe them over her.
I always talk to my homies about that situation, but I never talk from a woman's perspective from that, because a lot of people hate her. Like a lot of people aren't.
I mean, I don't hate nobody.
Well, dislike.
But I do feel like in that situation, she was the villain.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Like when you go on 3 different teams and they all have something negative to say about you.
Right, you calling people monkeys and allegedly. I mean, I'm dark skinned, so I'm always,
Exactly. Did you see the fight footage?
Yeah, I seen it. Got rocks.
She got so off.
She's too big to be rocked like that, but she got rocks. For sure, she got rocks. So, I mean, it's kind of like that's what led to it. It was a lot of energy into that, so that was more than just we duking it out on the court. Like, no, that was like some background, personal. Like, oh, okay, it's the perfect time for me to move on you. Like, yeah.
I just never trusted people that, when you meet somebody or either you probably talk to somebody or just making friends, they're always talking bad about the other person and why they don't like them. But if you notice it's a pattern, it's not just them, it's that person, that person, that person. Wouldn't you view them as a problem somewhat?
And Johnny had 2 apples. Johnny had 2 apples. The denominator is still the same.
Exactly. So if you ever come across a person like that and they said, "Oh, my ex did this," and there's no accountability.
Not the ex.
Well, in the example,
Yeah.
a person was there. No, definitely. Like I actually do hope she actually has a great career or come back to the WNBA because she still holds a scoring record for the league. So she's a pretty good player. So it's just that attitude doesn't mix well in the locker room. Like, you got
see.
Yeah.
That's a whole. I can go down a rabbit hole about attitudes in the WNBA, but
Really?
we won't go there today. Not today. It's not today.
Next time.
Yeah, next time. Next time for sure. I hope y'all tune in next time for sure.
Oh yeah, but we definitely got more of these too. I'm actually having a good time.
Yeah, did y'all enjoy this episode?
Yeah.
Absolutely. And big shout out to True Reality Studios for letting us use the space. My boy Twin Talented in the back. Him and his brother Josh, they actually doing a lot of work in the city. And if you guys need a venue to hold a photo shoot, videography session, or even just a live show like this, come here because man.
Yeah. This space is nice. It's a nice space. I already see some visions for myself. I was about to go look at the schedule, see what I can book.
Yeah. Like next time we'll probably have like a little hookah lounge up there or
Right. I mean, it's only gonna get bigger from here, so support y'all while you can, because when the tickets sold out, tickets sold out.
But I would get some of my homies at VIP though, like I'm sure.
Oh, for sure, y'all. I think everyone here tonight should definitely get VIP access. I mean, they was here from the beginning, and we're just planting seeds for it to grow to fruition. So I'm excited. Thank y'all. Thank y'all so much.
All right, shout out to y'all. Shout out to you.
And I told you I was babysitting this because look, there's still more left.
I'll refill your cup.
Yeah, I'm still babysitting though.
But anyway, like we said, thank y'all so much for coming out. It's been a pleasure tonight to just have a live audience, and make sure y'all tune into the front pages. You can find me anywhere you listen to your local podcast. And what about you?
And also check me out on YouTube at The Humble Opinion. I'm actually almost at 500 subscribers, and since they lowered the requirements, I can get paid. So y'all make sure y'all subscribe to this.
Yeah, help my boy out. Help him out. Go subscribe. Go subscribe. His content actually good. Like no shade. Like, I'm actually a fan.
Appreciate it.
I'm actually a fan. You got my subscription.
And always check out the front page every single time.
Yeah, check out the front page. Check out PSC Approved. Just check me out. Link up with me. You know.
Definitely check out PSC Approved because you can find a lot of nice date spots. So definitely.
Not days, bro. We're looking for the. Ski. But nah, it's been a pleasure. Thank y'all so much.